the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
That's what everyone says when they get broken up with. So,
well, on the other side, something that I've been thinking about, because there's not a lot of movement this week in the portal for Tennessee. They're still just 2, and we'll see what they ended up doing here with some other teams now out of the fold. But the thing I was thinking about was, so one of the things this year I kind of just assumed, just because he was not really a factor again in the tight end room, because Tennessee was going 12 personnel pretty often this season with their issues at offensive tackle throughout the year. But it was Miles Kitselman, the Alabama transfer, who got another year of eligibility. He won that waiver, so he's back, presumably as the starter. Holden Stays didn't really work out for Tennessee this year. He came in from Notre Dame, but he was getting a lot of those reps with Miles Kitselman when they were doing 2 tight end sets, and he was okay. But now he's off to Indiana. Probably a better system for him, more pro style. Just didn't really fit and didn't really look like a clean fit in Heupel's scheme. But Ethan Davis, who is a 4-star from years ago now, from Collins Hill, who put up big numbers at Collins Hill, kind of a wide receiver tight end hybrid, and just has all the talent in the world, and has not really caught on yet at Tennessee thus far with any meaningful snaps. So I just was kind of like expecting him to go into the portal, going after 2 years now, where you're like, maybe it's just it's not a clean fit. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna work out for Ethan Davis in Knoxville. And then he didn't enter the portal. So something I'm very curious about right now is what the plan is, because we're all very interested in like what new wrinkles Heupel is going to add to this receiver room in 2025. But I also just am kind of curious what this means for Ethan Davis. Is this now him staying and Stays going? And is this and him just wanting to be around for a third year? Just with the nature of the portal, I was kind of surprised that he's going to be on this team again next year. And I think it's a good win, because I still am very, very in on his upside. But we just haven't seen the snaps thus far for Heupel at tight end. So I don't know. I'm very curious what happens. So I just wanted to throw this out for Vol fans of like, feel free to drop them in the comments if you're watching on YouTube about what you think about Ethan Davis in year 3. But I think it's interesting because they have a Desan Brame, 4-star tight end, and another one in Jack Van Dorselaer, 2 4-stars coming in. It's true freshman, but he is now the lone vet along with Miles Kitselman. So I think he's clearly going to be a part of the offense next year. And while we're all looking at receiver and everything else, he can be a slot guy. He's got the size and athleticism to be kind of a Swiss Army knife for Tennessee. And I wonder if maybe that's someone to keep an eye on this spring and summer, is where Ethan Davis is at going into year 3 in the program, because I still think he has all the talent in the world, but I think it's kind of an overlooked one that he did not ultimately end up in the portal this cycle, because I think he can be a really good player if given the opportunity. So I'm excited that he stuck around, because he's still someone that I think could be a really fascinating piece for Tennessee on offense.
Yeah, we know Tennessee needs a little help at that receiver tight end position from what they were in 2024.
Absolutely. Matt Green, you have a take here. You're something you want to throw out here. And I'm very curious which way you go with this, because this is something I had not really thought about before you brought it up in the rundown. So lay it out for us, folks.
Well, let me start by saying that I've seen like this is what got me thinking, as I've seen this narrative is like, oh, the SEC's dominance is over, like, oh, especially the one now that everyone can pay players, now the SEC isn't the best anymore. It's like, okay, fine. You can run with that if you want.
It was pretty funny,
I think the SEC
Shane Gillis said that on game day. That was hilarious.
No, that was hilarious. Talking straight
directly
to
Nick Saban was just.
I thought this was a fun show. I'm sorry. That was pretty great. But I think what got me thinking was like, I still think the SEC is going to be the best year in and year out. Like, it's just
nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas Podcast. Hell yeah.